Hey. Mm.
Hey.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be okay. We got this. Welcome to the Dawson and Ashley Show, the place where real talk meets real vibes. From laughter to lesson, we're keeping it raw, unfiltered, and always entertaining. So sit back, turn it up, and let's dive in. What it do, Ashley? I'm so happy to see you. Oh my
Hey,
God, you're back. So how you been? How you been?
man, there's been a lot since I saw you last, but I'm doing great. How are you?
Man, I'm great. I'm great to be in your presence again. I mean, like the show has been waiting for this moment. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm so glad to see you. I am so happy to see you, and I'm most excited to hear your voice. So you had lost your voice through this last chemo, right?
Gosh, I can't remember when we saw each other last, but back right before my birthday, the beginning of September, I had a little bit of disease progression. I had a tumor pop up in my lung, and I had a surgery. I had a radiation, and that radiation it affected my voice and kind of left me with this chronic cough. So yeah, I lost my voice for a minute, and it's a little crazy, but it's coming back.
At least you're here, and it's like it just I know this is a journey for you that is straining, right? You know what I'm saying? So like I'm just seeing that your face is just lit up right now. You know what I'm saying? You've been the best. I mean, I we've been through the first set of chemo with you, and it was just hard to see how
Yeah, it
much
was
it
rough.
was draining you. You know what I'm saying? And just being with that journey with you is just hard for everyone. Just to see you like
Absolutely.
that, because I mean it's like right now you're just vibrant, beautiful. I love the hair
Thank
wraps.
you.
I love the bamboo earrings. Just so that's what's up. You said we talked earlier this week. You said that you've been doing some self-care things too, like going out and getting your nails done.
Absolutely. I got the spooky nails right now. I got the
Hey,
ready
what's up?
ready for Halloween.
Absolutely.
It's one of those things that makes me feel like me. I've always kept my nails done, and
And
so
that's what it's all about, right? Like just
absolutely.
keeping yourself, and running and going and do things instead of sitting down and just dwelling, right?
Totally. I think part of it though is like, I'm not working anymore, so my income is different, and I wasn't prioritizing self-care lately, so I've been trying to make it a point to do that a little bit more.
That's
It's an
so
investment in
important.
yourself.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
no matter, if you're going through, an illness, if you're just feeling down, what I'm saying, self-care is the one thing that lifts you up, makes you feel good about yourself. So I'm
Absolutely.
so happy to see that, saying that you're doing way better and doing that, what I'm saying. So, yeah, we had mentioned some of your, progress in other shows and stuff like that. And today I just want to, just give you an opportunity to just reflect on that and just talk about some things. And I want to just ask you a bunch of questions, and hopefully you're okay with that. And but
100%. Yeah.
so in this segment, I just want to know, just take us back. What I'm saying, when the first time you was diagnosed, um, what was going through your mind at the time?
Denial, disbelief. I don't think that anybody expects to get, a cancer diagnosis. I think the younger you are, it's even more unexpected. You kind of have this assumption, right, that happens to other people or later in life. So when I was originally diagnosed, I was 32 years old. No family history of breast cancer. So I don't carry any genetic markers for it either. And so it was just really, really unexpected. And I think that, I would say I was in denial for a good long time. First reaction.
Absolutely. That's definitely something, no one blames anyone that finds out news like that, and you'll just at one time all that just rushes in, because like you said, you had no family member who had the diagnosis of breast cancer. It doesn't run in your family at all.
Nope.
That's rare. That's a rare case that people don't have that. Is that something that they tell you?
Well, it's actually becoming way more common. I guess in the last several years, there's been kind of this explosion of breast cancer showing up in younger and younger women. They did lower like the recommended age for like routine mammograms and screenings, but even below that age, I mean, it's becoming way more common. And I'm sure there's all types of theories and reasons, and I'm sure it all comes back to what we eat in our environment and all the things. But I think that's why it's so important to have these conversations and just keep people aware of it. The first doctor I saw tried to kind of write me off, told me, because I was in pain. I had a painful lump in my breast, and he told me cancer doesn't hurt. Breast cancer doesn't hurt, which is not true. It can. That I was too young, no family history, and they tried to brush me off, and I had to really advocate for myself.
That's crazy, man.
It's very
That's
important.
crazy. I mean, like, because you're supposed to trust the physicians and the doctors. That's what in your mind. That's you went to school for this. You know what I'm saying? This is what you meant. This is what that you went to school for. You know what I'm saying? So why they have these? Because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's just things they going by books, going by, last cases and stuff like that they're going through. You know what I'm saying? And you have to have the right doctor. Make sure make sure you have, a doctor that's especially specialized in cancer, you know what I'm saying, in breast cancer or any type of cancer, right?
Well, that conversation starts usually with like your primary care doctor. And at the time I had an older man who was kind of set in his ways. And I waited about 2 weeks, and I actually called and just asked if I could see someone else, like a woman, that's another way to advocate for yourself. If you ever don't agree with somebody, go get a second opinion. Because
absolutely. And what was the hardest part of your journey, physically and emotionally? What was the hardest part?
Nothing about cancer is fun. It's all hard. It's kind of hard, I think, to pinpoint the hardest part. Physically, all the biopsies, the pokes, the blood draws, surgeries. It's not fun. It really takes, you got to really, a lot of mental fortitude to kind of get through that stuff.
We can imagine that just this, all the emotions come, right?
It's
everything just comes. It's a lot. It takes, what I'm saying? I can just imagine, that it just, hearing news like that and just, that shock that sets in at first, right? The disbelief or the denial, but how did your perspective of life change after your diagnosis?
My perspective of life, I feel like just really, really trying to stay present. I'm kind of naturally a little bit of an anxious person, and I worry about things outside of my control, and I get ahead of myself. And when you do that, it really robs you of the ability to enjoy what's right in front of you and to stay present and be, with your loved ones. And it's more like the little things. I used to, as a single mom, I'd be stressed about, day-to-day life and what am I going to make for dinner? And I forgot this at the store. Now I feel like I like having those problems. I'd rather those be like, that might be my biggest stress for the day, Wow. And, so yeah, I would say that changed my perspective, just to slow down and just really savor like each moment and, finding joy in like the little things, for sure.
That's beautiful.
It sounds very corny, but like it's
no,
true.
Absolutely not. It's not corny because you have to take one, the good with the bad, right? And the things that, usually like if you wasn't diagnosed, if you wasn't, sick, these little things irritate the hell out you, right?
Right.
I just want to appreciate those things now because things that you're going through right now. So, how does your, what gave you the strength, to keep going on when you wanted to give up? What gave you that strength?
Well, I just felt like I wasn't done with life yet,
So,
Again, you kind of have this assumption, right? As you're going through life that, X, Y, Z is going to happen. Like I'm a mom. So naturally, one day I'm going to see my kids graduate and find their partners and get married and be a grandma.
Mm-hmm.
You think about those things, you take it for granted that it's just going to happen. Now it might not necessarily, right? But the strength, like just, to be here as long as I can and get as far as I can so I can have as many moments and memories with my family, That's what gives me strength.
I'm so happy to hear that, Ashley. I know these questions are hard for you. I know you get a little emotional about it, but, anytime that, you feel that you don't want to continue with these questions and stuff, just let me know because I know how hard it can be.
It's good though. It's good.
Yeah. There's times when I've given up, try to give up. It don't take, a disease or, anything like that to make people want to give up. And it's hard to recap those thoughts again, you know what I'm saying? Because like you're still battling this, you know what I'm saying? I still battle depression, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's like, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Like some days, like today, I woke up just not feeling myself, you know what I'm saying? Just all emotion going in, restlessness and tiredness, you know what I'm saying? So is this, I know this is hard for you, but I'm so happy that
it's hard, but in a good way. It is. And I will say this, that, I am in a little bit better space right now, but I do have to be really, really intentional about changing my perception and like my mindset. I wake up like you and have bad days, and some days I'm not nailing it. I'm just, it sucks. Cancer sucks, and there's no getting around that. But I feel like the attitude, you have, and the way you, like, we have a choice. I could choose to just be angry and sad all the time, but I choose to really try to, not be that way. Nobody wants to feel like that,
Right. Absolutely not. It's that, I remember one of our conversations about when we were talking about addiction. When
Right.
you said this, and it just clicked back to me when you said that. You like, a crackhead didn't wake up one morning and say you want to be a crackhead. Right? So
Right.
same applies here, right? Nobody wakes up and say, "Hey, I'm on cancer today." You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
so it's like cancer doesn't have names on it. You know what I'm saying? It just appears. It happens, right? Like, whether you have family and friends and stuff like that. So how did the relationship with your family and friends change during the times?
It's crazy. It's like people that I would have assumed like getting a diagnosis like this would be there. There's been a lot of people that just disappeared, and I get it. Like, some people just can't handle it. They don't know how, or it's a lot. It's also really hard to watch people you care about suffer and struggle, and some people just can't. And then people that I never would have expected have shown up for me in just the most generous and like amazing of ways. Like, I'm so humbled, the support my family has been shown, and I don't, I know a lot of people, I have a lot of acquaintances, but I feel very blessed to say that I have, a very solid core group of friends and family. And, I couldn't imagine trying to walk through something like this without them, and it's been hard for me though, because I'm usually the person that shows up for other people. So I've been trying to learn how to receive that help and receive that support as well,
Yeah, that's very important. Me and you go back and forth with this, because like, like, we live in different states. You're in Washington State, Jana, and I'm in Florida, down here in the, muddy slums. So, but it's like, I guess hard sometimes because, like, I get angry with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm like, Ashley, you don't reach out to me or call me hi. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have that feeling. So, some days that we have to pick ourselves up and, like, reach out to people, even times we don't feel like it, right? And that's what having that support for. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, it's having that support and recognizing that support, because like you said earlier, some people have just vanished and gone.
Right.
So I'll also give you doubt about who you trust and who you put in your circle, correct?
Right.
So
but
I
to
get
put
it
in perspective, though, I feel like, I am bad at that sometimes. When I am going through it, I do withdraw a little bit. But like, also, I just get kind of tired of talking about it. And I know a lot of people with like a terminal illness or a disease can relate. It's like, it sort of becomes your identity, and you don't want it to be. I don't want like the only thing we ever talk about is cancer and how I'm feeling and how I'm doing, because I'm so much more than that, Until I was sick, I'm like this whole person, and then you get cancer and it's all of a sudden just cancer. And then you realize, I'm at appointments 3-4 days a week. So I'm always in a doctor's office. I'm always talking about it. So sometimes I just get kind of like tired of it, and I just withdraw a little bit. And I know that's a little unfair to people who care about me, because then they don't know what's going on, So I'm working on that. I share a little bit on social media to kind of cover the bases, but yeah.
But people got to be more understanding, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will raise my hand and say, this right here got to be more understanding, because I'm old and setting my ways as well too, you know what I'm saying? A closed mouth don't get fed. That's what I grew up on, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's just, I make sure that I reach out to you and make sure that, you're okay. We got a little,
good shot.
Our deal we got going on the side. I said we got this. Me and Ashley got this. Reach out 2 days a week, and one week is about the business, 1 week is about how we doing, keeping up with ourselves. Because we're new at this as well too. You know what I'm saying? This friendship is new. I'm saying we only met like a month and a half ago, and it's flourishing. It's becoming something better, and the love is there, the care is there, and I think that that's part of there's been a woman in general. You know what I'm saying? That's going through something like this. Like you said, it's maybe some people like exes or people that, who are friends, just, care more about themselves and less about you. And then, that when you have another man figure come into your life and you're like, man, do you really care about me? Well, not just because you feel sorry for me. Right.
Right.
And,
I don't
that's
get
what's
that vibe
important.
from you, though.
No, don't ever get that vibe, because I'll keep it 100 all the
It's
time.
all
You know what I'm
love.
saying? Absolutely. And before we talked about this, and the listeners haven't heard this, you was revised with cancer, right? So it went away at one point, right?
So yeah, I was originally diagnosed in 2023, and I was stage 2B, triple negative breast cancer, which means that, as far as they could tell, it hadn't spread outside of this huge tumor that was in my breast. And I did a really aggressive treatment because triple negative is one of the worst types you can get. It's known to be very aggressive and move quick. So they treated it very aggressively. 16 rounds of chemo. I had a partial mastectomy. I did a month full of radiation. And they told me it was successful, that I beat it. And within a year, it was back. And it spread to my lungs and my liver and my skin and my breast. So
what would be one thing you wish people understand and know better about cancer and the revision part of it? Saying, like, going back and then, receiving the news again that, wow, it's back. What would you say?
Well, it's hard. I don't know if it was like trauma or just like some intuitiveness that I had. But even when they told me I beat it, I didn't feel like it was over, which was really strange to say. Like, again, I don't know if I just knew somewhere or it was just from everything that had happened to me. So I didn't really celebrate the way I felt like I should when they were like, you beat it. It wasn't like, yay. I felt kind of scared. I was waiting.
Wow, really?
And they tell you that, so you're considered no evidence of disease until you've made it 5 years without it coming back. Once you've made it 5 years without it coming back, then you can consider yourself to be in remission. So I feel like I was just kind of waiting. And, I really wish I had celebrated more that I beat it initially and really let myself enjoy that year. So that's probably what I would tell people is cancer is so one day at a time that if you let your worries and your anxiety get the best of you, it kind of robs you of that time. So that year I had where I was cancer free or where I wasn't in the middle of treatment, and I wish I had done more with that. You know what I mean? Taking
Absolutely.
a trip or really celebrate it.
Absolutely.
And I did. And instead I spent it kind of afraid and waiting and dealing with the fallout of all the treatment. And
we only got one life in this
you only got
this
one
place.
life.
I like to tell people, enjoy those W's, enjoy the wins. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the wins, because when you accept those little L's, some little losses. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel as bad when you celebrate the little wins and they build up, right? So, this is over. You know what I'm saying? You can go back, you can celebrate.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? This time, and really reflect on hey, I'm gonna give myself, a vacation. I'm gonna come see Dawson. Come see Dawson. Come see me. Yeah, I think it's important that people who are going through this, right, and they get to that point where they say, hey, it's not there anymore. Celebrate. Enjoy those moments. Enjoy
Even
those moments, right?
Even if it could come back, you got right now to celebrate it.
Absolutely. Were there any unexpected moments and peace of clarity during your treatments?
100%. I feel like I have learned that I can do anything. I can get through anything. I just gotta break it up into smaller pieces.
Absolutely.
Just one thing at a time. I tell people all the time, people used to always say, you're so brave, you're such a fighter, you're such a warrior. And I'm like, honestly, I'm not. I just go to the next thing, next appointment. You know what I'm saying? I just keep showing up. That's it. And it's, there's something.
Do you think you do that? I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to ask you that question. You said that. You think that is because of that little doubt in your mind, or is it just something you just keep telling yourself? Saying like me, I'm the probably person I always tell you, saying you're my biggest, superhero. You know what I'm saying? And I know that you take that within the heart, you know what I'm saying? But when I hear you say this, it just makes me think man, Ashley, you are, you know what I'm saying? I look at you because I don't think there's no person, and you're the first person, I don't know if you realize that I've experienced going through something like this. You know what I'm saying? Never, my best friend passed away suddenly, you know what I'm saying? Years ago. And it was just it just suddenly, you know what I'm saying? It was I had to see him suffer and see him go through things like that. So that's why I mean, you take those people's comments. I'm saying that because to them, you are a hero. You know what I'm saying? To me, you are strong. You know what I'm saying? Because damn it, it's times that I felt like a little girl and I just gave up. I'm gonna die.
You ever have those days? You ever have those days when you're driving to work and you think about just keep going, past work and do something else?
What? Absolutely.
So I feel like I have those moments sometimes, like when I have to drive to the cancer center. Like sometimes I'm like, man, because I'm in Seattle and I'm on
Mm,
405 going to where I go. And sometimes I'm
yes.
like, I should just keep going. I'll go to California today. And I'm always so proud of myself when I
Trying to go on
take
that
the
vacation
exit.
right now, huh? Take that vacation right today.
I'm always so proud of myself when I like get off the exit and like go to where I'm supposed to go. But in my head, I'm like, it would be so easy to
Exactly.
just keep
What?
going, like
Absolutely, man. That's what's up, though.
play hooky for the day.
And I mean, like, hey, I wouldn't be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? So,
You
like,
know?
you need that some days, right? You need that, it's like how our minds play tricks on us, right? Because
Yeah, exactly.
we were like, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
so, like, how do you handle fear, especially the fear of the unknown? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you handle that?
It's a daily thing for me. There's always there's all the things that people tell you, right? Meditate and journal and write. And it's a daily practice. I mean, it's weird. I don't feel like I'm necessarily afraid of dying. My biggest fears are the people who love me having to watch me suffer. Suffering itself, it sucks when you're uncomfortable or in pain or, cancer, it's not fun. But,
Exactly.
and just leaving people prematurely, like my kids and my family, I feel like I still got lots of stuff to do. And so those are fears that I live with. And so, every day I feel like I have to kind of just have that conversation with myself and, and manage that fear. Like I have to address it.
Absolutely.
If I try to ignore it, it kind of will sneak up on me and I have moments where I feel very panicky. I've been reading, I think I brought it up before, but I've been reading this book. It's called Love is Letting Go of Fear. And it's so
powerful.
silly. It's a small book and it's very simple and straightforward, but the principles that they kind of talk about and teach in it grounds me. So I pick it up every day and flip through it. I want to send you a copy of it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and buy it myself. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
I mean, like, that's crazy.
it's great. And it just helps me stay
Grounded. You just mentioned, saying some people say meditate, some people say, ground, and but things that you have done is self-care, right?
right.
Self-care it overcomes that fear. It makes that fear looks very small. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're feeling good at that moment. That's what self-care means. And feeling good all the time. So every day, even without cancer, without depression, without all these mental health issues we have, self-care just and it keeps you, in that elevation of energy and elevation of vibration that you're just feeling good about yourself. And another thing, I don't know if I told you this, but I did a lot of studies on, certain things, and one of it was fear. Fear is a learned behavior, right?
Mhm.
It's like, when I mean by that, it's like fear is given to us throughout our daily lives, right? Throughout things but you didn't know what fear means or what it felt. It's just a feeling in your head, right? You know what that meant unless they put a name on it, right? So let me tell you this. If you spell out fear, I'm taking my pad right now. If you spell out fear, right? F-E-A-R, right? I was talking to the shaman one day, and she told me fear is, from the first letter, fear is false energy that appears real. So fear is false energy that appears real, right? So fear is to me, is like energy that's surrounding it, and we give thought to it, or we show a reaction to it, then it becomes real. It becomes our reality, right? So like, if you can just think about the outside things of what fear causes, like, like living. Why worry about death if you just continue to live? You know what I'm saying? We just think about living and enjoying life right now in this moment, right? Every day, every second, every minute you enjoy life. And people are like, oh, that's insane, bro. You can't do that. Absolutely. Because I'm practicing it now. You know what I'm saying?
It's like relinquishing control though, right? So
absolutely.
It's like because for me, fear is like worrying about things that I don't have control over. It's like me trying to grasp at controlling a situation I don't have control over. So what I try to do is focus on what I can control, which is my reaction to what's happening to me.
Yes.
Right? I can't control the cancer. I didn't ask for it. I didn't invite it. It showed up. But, I, respond and the energy I give it is totally in my control.
And it's also like you're saying, going back to what you said earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at your beautiful cat. Ashley just bought the cat for her son's birthday. Happy birthday to him.
It's our new family member.
Keep adding on to these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that cat got 9 lives, so we're going to just give the power of the 9 lives to you, right? So I would just like to say, reflect on what you said earlier, right? You said that, there's things that you do, you know what I'm saying? Like, that you keep yourself going every day, right? If you don't stay focused on what's killing you or or might kill you. It can, like, focus better on. So if this conversation was, let's say 5 years ago,
Right.
your conversations, your response to things and way you sound, it'll be different, right?
Totally different.
These are the reflecting of that. What life is. Life is a reflection of what your memories. So you go back to, like you told me earlier, like you had showed me pictures of you when you had hair and all this. You're like, oh, I miss my hair. I can't. So like, go back to those days, right? And just remember those days. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the type of thing I believe that manifestation overcomes fear as well. You know what I'm saying? I see myself cancer free. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be cancer free. If I continue to be in the moment of cancer, and like you said earlier, you said, I don't want to keep talking about this, and I don't want people to remember me because I got cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's what you portray out. It's what what you're showing people. So it takes you to project to people what people see in you. Right? So if all you do is talk about cancer, people gonna just see cancer, right? But not, you know what I'm saying? Being happy and self-caring, you know what I'm saying? People gonna see that part of you, right? So what message would you give to someone who just found out they have breast cancer? What would the message be?
Like someone that was just diagnosed?
Yeah, what would you tell them?
You got this. It's not easy, but you can do it. It's doable. When I was very first diagnosed, I remember I spent about a week. I was so scared. I'd experienced fear and anxiety before, but I was so scared that, like, for about a week, my teeth wouldn't stop chattering. I was so anxious that it was a physical thing. And a lot of that came from, I didn't know anybody who'd gone through it. No one in my family had experienced it, no one close to me. All I knew about cancer was what I'd seen on TV and social media. And this perception I had of it was just that it wasn't doable. And so I feel like if I could tell anybody, that's just coming into something like this, whether it's stage 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, whatever that treatment looks like for you, it's doable. You can do it.
Words are so empowering. You know what I'm saying? But it also takes that person to believe. You know what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not ready to give up.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not ready to, throw my hands up and say, I'm done. Right?
Nope.
So, like, that person can receive those words with that mentality. Because you're 35, you said you are? 35?
Yep, I just turned 30.
35 years old. I'm 54. You know what I'm saying? You looking at me as like, I want to see what it means to be 54 years old. I want to see what it looks like being 54 years old, right? Well,
I do.
Everybody looks as good at 54, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, like, but that's what that's what people's mentality is. Like, you have to want to continue to live, right? You want to keep fighting and keep going on. And that's what beats this. You know what I'm saying? Like, truly, I believe in my whole heart that that's what beats it. Like, it's that pouring out more energy of not giving up, right? And then less energy of, giving up, right? If you can suppress all that negative vibration, negative energy, and just think that I'm going to live. You said in our last conversation, one of our episodes, you said that I want to see my grandkids.
Oh, no.